Everybody. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this the meeting of the Urbana Board of Trustees to order. If you guys don't mind, we'll ask everyone to stand and invite you to join us on the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Guys, did you have a moment, or did you have a minute to look over the minutes and view the financial status report? You guys have any additions or corrections to either item?
No.
If not, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes in the financial report.
So moved.
And I'll second that.
The moved and seconded, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, dear. I know, sorry, blue.
It's okay.
Good, thank you. Before we get anything else, Nick, I'm gonna let you go ahead and address the floor here since, get you guys out of here then.
Cool. Well, good evening, y'all. I've come up here a couple of times. I work for a nonprofit called the Ohio Land and Liberty Coalition. Our job is to travel across Ohio and speak with local governments about renewable energy and an all of the above energy approach. And I'm not here to ask about your support or whatever. I just need a couple questions answered if you have time. So one of the initiatives that we do is not just speaking with local governments, but also the communities. So we have this seminar program called Power Hour, in which we take an hour of the community's time and we talk about some of the benefits and answer some questions in a pretty neutral environment. No developers, no fake answers, just real talk. We were wondering if Urbana Township would be a spot that you guys think would be beneficial to hear something like that. So I was wondering, do you think there would be a bunch of opposition that came if we tried to do something in the next month or two around here? Would you guys be interested in attending? And you know if any good dinner spots tonight?
That's probably the easiest question you can ask.
Okay.
So, what the?
Guys, I'm gonna let you speak first. I mean,
I'm not opposed to anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any history or knowledge of how we feel now of the company and the community, but
I think information is powerful. So the only thing I'm gonna say about so you'd like to use the township hall here for this? Or
Just whatever's available.
no, well, I'm just saying, I meant we are limited on occupancy. So I meant a mile and a half up the road is our community center, and it's kind of made, it holds 240 people.
Okay.
So I mean, if you're going to invite not only Urbana Township, but maybe Mad River Township, try to get Union Township, maybe get 3 of them to come in at one spot, you might have a little better crowd.
Okay.
And that, I mean, the bad thing about doing it here, I mean, once you're at capacity, then we got to turn people away. So that's the only thing bad about having it here. But, you know, that's something we're going to address later on tonight anyway. So, but absolutely, if you're going to put on something like that, I mean, I can't speak for these guys, but I absolutely would be in attendance for that.
Certainly. Cool. Yeah, we would try to get a couple of the other townships involved, invite them out, hopefully get some of the county commissioners out if they're not too busy. You know how they are, they like to be busy. So yeah, we were hoping we could try to get something started maybe middle of May.
Yeah.
And then maybe another one at the end of the summer, depending on the schedule. But you know, we're just kind of trying to plan out our summer and seminar series. So
Well, I hate to
No,
interrupt, but
please.
since my office is right next to the commissioner's office. So Champaign County has enacted restrictions pursuant to Senate Bill 52 to regarding solar, and have previously in the past dealt with wind turbines. So I would say that, just for your information, there probably is a pretty significant opposition group that is currently having an issue in Rush Township with a small solar project there. And there has, in the far past, 10, 15 years ago, had some opposition to wind turbines in Union Township. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed, but that's probably a bit of a lightning rod to have something, because I do feel like, unlike other counties, Champaign County residents know a lot about renewable energy and have a thought about
Because
it.
they've seen it for about a little bit over a decade, yeah.
Yeah, so just an FYI.
Yeah.
So, and the commissioners, I think that there is a, I think it's a political issue that is raised in the county with candidates and things like that. So in the recent past, that renewable energy was one of the sole reasons for certain candidates to be elected or not elected. So you may get some opinions.
We're vaguely familiar. We've met with the county commissioners. I think we did back in October, and they told us about the exact same thing. That's actually why we're doing this. We're trying to go into some of the areas that have had bans enacted, and just trying to see if there's any wiggle room, or to see, kind of gauge just exactly why, and hear from the elected officials as well as the community members who have had to see it in their backyards.
Can you tell me a little bit about your nonprofit? And I apologize for taking a minute. I don't understand if you're not a part of development of solar. What is your nonprofit status and how do you get funded?
We're a 501c3,
Uh-huh.
so we're funded from a number of different sources.
Which are?
Mainly philanthropy.
Okay.
And so our whole goal is to defend property rights, and that whether that's renewable energy, whether that's a gas peaker plant, the whole goal is property rights and all of the above energy. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So as property rights, are you affiliated with the Farm Bureau?
No, ma'am.
And you're not affiliated with any developers?
No, ma'am. That's kind of what gives us the access into having those on the ground conversations, is that we're not giving you developer talking points. We can be totally real and straight up with you.
Where are you located at?
I'm located in Columbus.
Okay.
But I travel probably 4 or 5 days a week. Put about 50,000 miles on that beat up Subaru out there last year.
And are you looking for large scale or small scale development, possibly?
Well, right now, just because of the SB 52 bans, our focus is on large scale. But if there's ever a problem with small scale, we'll go out and fight that as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have can you type something in your phone here real quick? I'm gonna give you a phone
Yes,
number.
sir. Give me just a moment.
It's fine.
All right.
It's the OSU Extension Office, so High State University Extension Office. Her name is Deb. The phone number is, when you're ready, 937-772-6015.
772-6015.
And she's in charge of running the county auditorium up there.
Okay.
So if you need a larger event space to handle 3 or 4 townships or something, or a larger group, you might want to give her a call about, setting up that room.
That is so helpful. I really
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Cool.
And especially if you're gonna have a big meal, it's important.
All right. Final question. Ryan and I are hungry. Where should we go to dinner?
Cradles.
See, there we go back to
They're closed.
They're close.
Problem is it's Easter Monday, so we're.
Oh, it is
we're driving
Monday.
around.
It is
We're
Monday.
having a hard time finding anywhere.
Seriously? Is that right?
I don't want to eat at
Downtown
Sheets.
place.
Springfield's a lovely town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can, is Nick's open? I was gonna say on the way back to Columbus.
Is there a Cracker Barrel nearby?
Springfield.
Springfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, cool. Well,
listen,
met you all, but I don't believe I've met you.
I'm Jane Napier, I'm with the prosecutor's office.
I'm Nick. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, this is not. This is my
Did mean
card.
somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe you guys have my contact.
Yeah, we do.
information.
Okay, Nick.
We really appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Okay,
Y'all have a good evening.
okay.
Okay.
Nice meeting both of you
Thanks,
guys again.
See ya.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
He's a younger and younger.
I wanted to ask him if you knew Mr. Gates or not,
Oh, yeah.
because that going over in Madison County is going to be massive. They're going to pretty much okay that whole 6,000 acres to.
Have they done that?
Yeah.
already?
That was at the last LUC meeting that they're going to okay that whole development.
You mean Melinda Gates? not
Melinda and Bill Gates, said that. Yeah. Hey,
Is it the Bill Gates, Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation?
it's doing that.
I always want to say to people, have you been to Champaign County? Do you know about Champaign County?
Yeah,
So
I don't know.
I'm thinking, yeah, you might have some opposition.
Okay, guys, we'll continue here, and next thing we're going to look at is I'm going to have Matt give a short report about his internet activity,
Yeah.
his website activity.
Be a little patient with me, get this running. We got show and tell today a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's still, if it'll work. I'd like to go high tech someday here with
I know he keeps saying this.
our office, but here it is. But this is all I have at the moment. It should come up. So we did some modifications to our website recently, and so the website here, if you haven't been to it, it's our Champaign County or Urbana Township, Champaign County website, mostly all done by Sandy from a while back, and Sandy's kind of giving me a little bit of free reign to have some fun and play. But we added I don't know if we have it in here. We have added a web or an email address that Sandy got started for us. Before we had nothing. We always have one here for Sandy, one for the zoning inspector, but now we have one here. So it's just information only on that one. And if you go to our more section, we have a little bit more, a township map that we never had before. So it kind of shows you what we're responsible for as far as some of the roads and cemeteries that we are actually in charge of as well.
Now, I hate to
Yeah.
stop you. The trustee, that email address, that isn't just one email. That's basically the board of trustees.
The board of trustees.
It goes there. Yeah, we have to go out
Yeah.
and reach out to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought this was interesting too. A lot of people don't know what the township is responsible for sometimes. So I thought that's kind of a neat idea. This is handed to us from the county engineer office. And maybe I'll make it a PDF so it can be downloaded a little bit clearer, but they can zoom in or out, that type of thing. So it's pretty nice. I just got that from this after I got started too. And then as you can go a little bit more, we do have meeting videos. The links here, and that'll click onto that, and it'll take you to the meeting videos that we're having there. So it helps us we can review and see what we had said or what we forgot to do, or just follow up on that type of thing. So we'll have one each week or each time we have one. So.
And it's important to add to that too. I mean, it is a non-edited video. I mean, we don't have the capacity to do that. So someone makes if I stumble over myself, he can't fix it. So I just look like an idiot.
Sandy, I know we haven't had videos before. You're gonna put those on the RC2.
Yeah, I just told Matt that when he told me that he was putting videos up, that we need to add that to our public records retention policy.
Okay. Yeah.
So just,
Because even though twice a month doesn't, or whatever, how many times it's gonna, 24
does it go
meetings
out to
every season.
YouTube then, or?
Yeah. Let's see if I'll click on it. If it will here. Okay.
Because I got an email from
Not sure where I'll click
lady
on.
that she actually watched the meeting, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It'll take you out to YouTube, and then you can watch it
okay.
and listen to more than one.
But those aren't gonna stay if you get rid of them on your RC?
2 or 3
They'll have to decide how long you want to keep them. Do you want to keep them a year
I see.
or how long?
No, we've got,
Why is there a time on it? I'm
If
just
you
asking.
don't, then you have to keep them forever. And
Okay.
if, let's,
want to look at the.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the
you don't
thing
have to
with,
get rid of them,
with
but you
social-
should have a time.
not social media, but things with electronics,
Mhm.
I mean, there are some entities that have beta videotapes and they don't have any player to play them on, and they're having to spend money on things that are not really of issue anymore.
Huh.
So that's why, just like with records, that sometimes it's hard to do that. Thankfully, Matt's here and he knows what to do, but you know, 20 years from now,
Yeah.
they may not be able to figure out what to do with these old.
It might not be like the CD, right? Or
Right,
cassette player.
right.
Or like bait, like you said, beta.
Yeah, we have
VHS.
beta tapes in place. So,
Very good. Well, thank you. That's great information. And then one other thing we have on here is I've been something I wanted to dig up and start showing off a little bit is our township history. So we got a little history page. And you turn around behind you, we got a ton of older books that are in this room that go all the way back to 1826, what I found out. And what I wanted to do is just reflect back on some of the workers, the trustees, the clerks, who did that stuff way back then. I'd like to get it all the way up to the current date. And what was an overseer of the poor? What was a fence viewer? What were some of those jobs that they required? So I do have some definition on there. Some of them are obvious what they were. And then as you go down a little bit further, you can peruse that on your own. But from 1811, I have up to about 1870. You can scroll and look around, see constables, supervisors, overseers of the poor, just the names that were brought up at that time. Those books are immaculate as far as the writing skills, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing. So I wish we still had that today as far as those writing skills. It gives you dates all the way to, I forget, it should go down. It'll scroll down as well. And it'll go too far. I got a lot of work, as you can tell.
Yeah.
We have about 1870 maybe of the dates I have included with the names. So I just wanted to share that with you. We can get even more when we have some more recent people that you start recognizing the names. But you'll see some of the names in here actually are related to a lot of the names of streets and things that and county roads that have developed over the years. So kind of wonder where they came from. But most of those books, as you can see, if you ever read them, they're really interesting as far as how they helped the poor. They always looked out for the poor. They had fence viewers. Those fence viewers are basically just to help understand, keep livestock in proximity to the owner's home. And if they were knocked over back then, they were stackable fences compared to what they have the wire now. So, and then basically just the trustees, clerks, treasurers, some constables, and as you move on, they started dropping off the overseers of the poor and the fence viewers, that type of thing. So I just thought it was interesting. I'd love to show that, and I'd love to get it caught up all the way up to current date, so you can kind of recognize those most recent trustees, clerks, and treasurers, that type of thing, fiscal officers. That's really the whole goal. So really, that's it on the website thing.
Okay. Thank you, boss.
Yeah. We can talk about something else if you like.
You want to do that next?
Yeah, I can do that next.
Wait, before
Yeah,
you
I'll
start,
wait.
let's,
Please.
I want to jump in something before we start that. Okay.
Mhm.
And we're going to go into, this is the hall rental. First of all, I want to recognize,
Sorry.
I want to recognize that Mr. Evil Sizer submitted a letter before our last meeting and offered us some suggestions on our hall rental agreements. It was well written and well intended. And Dan, we appreciate you giving us that so we can look at it and study it and not have to make a, out of pocket decision like that. So we really appreciate the written notice on that. A couple things I'd like to address that you brought up. We kind of got in it with Nick. I think what we're thinking, you said that you always wanted the township, you thought it would always be a good idea for it to be, open for some of the things that he talked about. And we're in agreement with that. We think that anything that's public, should be held here. Something that would benefit, the public that's non-political. I mean, that's what the township hall is made for. I don't know if we're going to recognize that as a meeting or an event, because something like that with what he was offering, I mean, there would be no charge for that, Dan. So there'd be no charge, no deposit. Probably a trustee or all the trustees would be in attendance, so we'd be able to monitoring the activity, help clean up, set up. So what you're saying there, I think is great for us to remember to always have this available for any kind of public meeting that benefits the residents of Urbana Township. Other than that, I still think we're going to probably hold on just having it for residents only. I mean, I liked your point here, but I just think it's going to be for residents are going to be the only people that are going to want to have events or parties here. I mean, and that's, a party is something that the rest of the township isn't invited to. So, but I think a public meeting, the whole township should be invited also, if we have space.
What's your occupancy?
Right there, 49.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're fairly limited.
Yeah.
So if all three of us came and then there was a presenter, they'd be down to 45. So
I do have to say that most likely at the community center, this gentleman would have to pay as a private, even though it might be a public concern, what they usually use that for public or public officials and those type of things. I mean, and as I think I said to you, somebody wanted to have a meeting about one of the issues that was of interest, the state issues, and everybody opposing it was up in arms about utilizing it and wanting their time to also have a meeting on those things. So non-political type things, it's difficult to do, especially in there. Yeah, they have 200 people can be in that auditorium. So
she said as long as it was something that was going to benefit Champaign County residents, that there would be a minimum charge. She said it would be prorated. Right now, to use the community center, it's $250 for a weekend, $175 during the week, 3 hour maximum on that, and then there's additional charge after 3 hours. That's for events, not public meetings. Public meetings for an hour, she said they prorate down. It's very affordable, maybe $35 an hour. So I'm just telling you what Deb told me from OSU Extension. Mm-hmm. So they also have 2 rooms available for $50. One holds 40 people, one holds 20 people. She said a lot of other townships are recommending the extension office as a meeting spot because almost everybody's in the same spot we're at. They can't hold very many people. So she said that we are welcome, and I'll give this information to all of us. If someone calls us, if we can't hold them, she said to recommend the county office or the county auditorium for this, which I thought was great. But she said that they do work with groups as far as if there's a meeting. Now, if it's an event's an event, and that's with food, beverages, entertainment. That's an event, not a meeting. So, and going back to what Roger said, if they were going to offer a meal at the meeting, then that's going to be an event, not a public meeting. So that's how she explained it to me, Gene. So I'm just sharing that. So anyway, but to finish this up, Dan, we already had the no smoking and the alcohol, no alcohol on premise. That was already in the original one. Adding the firearms restriction policy, that's good. So we're going to make sure that's posted. So we appreciate that. So other than that, I'm going to turn it back over to Matt. But thank you for, again, giving us ahead of time.
Yeah, basically, Timber apartment on this side. Oh, it
So now
disappeared.
most of them-
Blue sleep. Don't leave this thing. Here it comes back.
Thank you.
Okay, so we did quite a bit of modifications, or at least I did, just to, with all the input that I was getting from Dan and others. We put a email address right below the Urbana Township. Before, it was just a phone number that really didn't go to us. It may have emptied to an empty room, more or less, sometimes. We got our names up there, updated them as well. Make 2 checks payable. We'd like to have 2 checks when we do receive the money. One is the rental fee and one is the deposit fee, and I'll show you that in a little bit as I go a little closer. But there's the rules and regulations we like to see. Be parking in the designated area, responsible for all the persons in the group, the liability for any damage, and then we had some issues in the past. That's why we kind of highlight these in more bolder type. We had things pinned on the ceiling and the walls, so we just want to make sure that's well known to eliminate that. If they do get tables and chairs, make sure they're wiped down and clean and brought back to the original spot. Sweeping, and if mop the floors if we do have spills, that type of thing. Clean the restrooms, empty trash, and obviously we meet the capacity for 49. No alcohol beverages, smoking, or no firearms on the property. And then the fees we have down below: rental fee is $100, deposits $250, and if we'll require 2 checks in total, 1 for rental, 1 for deposit. And then the deposit check will be refunded after facilities are found in good condition. So basically, $100 fee. For about $25, slightly more than what Mad River Township's doing right now for their township building.
Who do you have clean your building?
We do it ourselves.
And really, that was all of the modifications. Dana gave you a copy there. Each had some input with us right there, and everybody has one here.
Is there anything that says it's just for this front part?
Yeah, yeah.
Does
It's
it say that in there? Okay.
What was it?
Yeah. It's just for this hall.
Okay.
It's just for the.
Oh.
It's not. We're not renting out the garage.
Yeah, just the whole. And we haven't done it in quite a few years of the COVID and all that. So.
And the other thing too, if you don't mind adding that, is that about returning the check, we are going to ask them that they would call one of the trustees. We will come over and inspect, and we're going to hand them back that deposit check that day. So we should, if we come in, everything's clean, tidy, they get their deposit back check immediately. And if it's not the way we want it, we're going to say, hey, you guys need to mop the floor. We'll check back with you in 15 minutes. And if they got the floor mop, we're going to hand them their check. And we just don't want extra work for Richard. And we want to make sure phone calls come to the trustees, not to Sean or zoning, because that can get lost in we're going to be the ones that are going to be facilitating this rentals here. So we're going to take full responsibility of this. And we also got to add a different door lock that Matt's going to take care of as far as.
So all are gonna schedule?
The 3 of us. It'll be the 3 of us.
One of the 3.
Yeah. What?
So one, you make sure that Monday nights,
Yeah.
Mondays are out. So are you gonna keep in contact with each other about when you rent it out?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the same way at the website with the one email I met. That way all 3 of us get to see everything instead of it just coming to me. Because now when people call me or call Roger, call Matt, the other 2 never get to see or hear it. So now with it going to the trustees, all 3 of us can open up an email and read it. So, and that's something that we'll probably email. We just haven't got very far to it, Gene, but it's good suggestions about. We'll just have a master calendar in here and say, this is the hall rental calendar, and that's what we're going to go off of. He's going to kind of be the chief here, I think. So
No,
I'm talking about Matt.
I'll try to leave it. Yeah.
Matt, I'm not pointing at Matt. I'm sorry.
is Richard back?
No, Matt is. But I'm not. As far as if he wants to be the tour guide here, he can. But I'd be more than glad to come over and let people in and check people out. So Do we have to make a motion to accept this rental agreement?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's gonna be a designated form.
Okay.
Once you make,
They're gonna make that
Oh,
one more
changes.
mod. You want me to put a mod in here? There,
Put a what?
modifications as far as, return the check that evening or that day or next day or whatever.
I think we should, because
Yeah.
they've got to check out with one of the trustees.
Okay. Yeah.
So you just we'll modify, vote this in next meeting? Okay.
Sounds good.
Go ahead, Jane, you've got something going in.
so there are a couple, I should probably send you some rules about things, because there's a lot of times, you don't want people horseplay, you don't want children unattended. There's a lot of different things that probably you should put in here, even if it's just kind of a second page. Here's the
Okay.
rules that you're gonna have, so the building is open.
I was thinking maybe a rules page.
Mhm.
and
You
then
want to do that? Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's fine.
Yeah,
Instead of trying to squeeze it all on one page.
yeah,
We're really running out of time. We just want this up and available for like next meeting, and because we're getting into graduation parties and things like that, so.
so it's gonna be first come, first serve, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, it has
It's,
to be. It's that way everywhere.
Yeah,
That thing too, we wanna post it on our website as well. It's available.
right, yeah, blackout dates and those
Yeah,
type of things.
yeah, that'd be good to have a little calendar.
Mhm.
That's a good idea. Almost like VRBO type thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's kind of the lock situation too. We'll be able to change the lock keypad,
Oh, good.
maybe on
Yeah.
through the phone system. Whatever maybe. But thank you for letting me do that.
No, thank
And that's
you.
really all the electronics. Well, I'd like to have one day have a TV and things, and we'll be able to see it without having to step and turn lights on and off on the type. Thanks. Thank you.
And Jane, I don't think she's going to show.
So apparently,
If you want to, if you
okay.
want to stay, or but
No, I'm
if he's
good.
going to take you out to dinner or something, and
Could
maybe.
you work that into?
Yeah, she needs fed.
Apparently, yeah,
Yeah, so I'm
no
sorry.
call, no show.
Yeah.
So, well, what I would suggest is if she calls you again, you refer her to me.
Okay.
See, you can just give her my office number,
Okay.
the direct dial. They can
Okay.
get me
I'll do
there.
her now.
Okay.
Yeah.
She can go through now.
Yeah, and so,
Okay.
if she wants to sit down and talk, that'd be good.
Well,
Let's go in.
How's your license coming, getting that?
I truly appreciate. I'm sorry to waste your time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I
haven't
just
started
told you
yet.
what I was told.
I know, I need
So-
to.
Yeah,
It's just-
well,
he just was on me about that. You guys think the same.
So,
Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you for your input.
I do.
See ya.
Thanks,
Yeah, bye,
Amy. See ya.
Guys, we'll continue this. Same way for reports. Richard's Road report. Sandy cleaned and washed all winter equipment and put it away. All spring mowers are ready. We cleared the intersection at Night and Middle Urbana Road. We did a lot of work down there. We got jobs marked at the cemetery, East Dallas and Tecumseh Woods, that we're going to try to get done in the next.
Larry, you say clean the intersection at night.
Yeah,
What do
we
you mean, the trash?
we cleared it back.
Oh.
There was, the sight lines
Oh.
were off, and we've
Okay.
had, I've had several phone calls.
Night in the
And,
middle of rain.
yeah, and we had several people when we were picking up trash stop us and say, can you do something about? So we went down there and we cleared that back,
Okay,
and we pushed that all the way back.
thank you. Clarifying.
Anyway, and that's it for Richard. And then for Sean, for the zoning and cemetery, I think he gave us all a copy of what he's been doing. So I don't need to go over that, do I?
No,
Since you have
just
that.
put some-
Okay, see attached. And we've already done the hall rental, so we got that done. Guys, go ahead and move into old business. Just got a couple things here. We got the county line project to touch on real quickly. Monday after our meeting, the next day the guy had the temporary fence up, and then Friday they started that hill
That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome that guy did that
They
quick.
started removing the hill.
I mean, how often is that in business?
Yeah.
You can do it the next day.
I bet that's why I said that was what was great about that. So county was thankful. They got started. They got finished on Friday before all this rain came. So they did not get the seeding done, but
So they're going to see that.
they're
Yeah,
going to
that's
see.
good.
The other thing is that the gentleman in Clark County come across and talked to me about what we could do for him. I said, we can't do anything, but I can get you in touch with the Clark County engineer. So Steve McCall reached out to them, and I think they're going to take care of the other side of the road also. So that's going to end up being a really safe intersection.
So they're really done with the other seating leg?
Other than seating, and then they've got to put the permanent fence in yet.
Okay.
So Sandy's just got the bill, and we've already paying for the temporary
Did
fence.
we need Steve McCall or whoever to approve that works?
Yeah, but
Suffices their.
that will be done before we put the permanent fence.
Okay.
They're going to call and ask us to walk the project with them.
Reason
No,
why I
no,
don't
no.
know.
That's a great. But they're going to call and if you want to include it in that, I'll be glad to.
Oh, no, I'm just curious how that.
No. We have to
Approve.
approve all that. Yes, sir. Right now, they're getting ready to replace a culvert. That's why they haven't seeded yet. There's a culvert that's close to County Line Road that needs to be replaced. So they've got to take the excavator back and forth across that. So they didn't want to seed it until that culvert was done. Anybody else got anything else on that? Nope.
No, that's good. But
And then the on-street parking resolution for Briarwood. Guys, I'm just going to move that we're going to table this for at least another meeting. Okay. I mean, we had some concerns, and I thought someone was going to show up tonight and ask some questions, and I don't think they were able to make it. So I'll reach out and see if they can make it to the next meeting. So can I entertain a motion to table the Briarwood project for right now?
So moved.
I'll second it. Yeah.
So it's been moved and second that we table the parking lot resolution for Briarwood. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All approved there, Miss Sandy. Sandy, do you have any old business?
I don't know if it's old or
Well,
new.
we're going to new next, so it's okay.
Okay, so the lady that, I just had the lady that wanted to sell her lot back. And Sean had worked it out with her. She wanted to sell, I think it was for $350 what she had purchased it at, but she's remarried, moved. She doesn't want to be buried now next to her former husband. So she wants to sell her lot back. So I just wanted you guys to put it on the record if you approve for us to buy that lot back from, I think I sent you an email about it.
Her married name was Gonzalez. I don't know what her.
Somewhere. Where I printed that off, but, okay, let me pull up my email. So I wanted you guys to approve that, not just go off of like what Sean had. So if you are okay with it, if you would make a motion, but let me just, okay. So her name is Vicky, no, that's not her, never mind, wrong person.
Vicky Deer.
That was Vicky Deer. I don't know if you got that too. Let's see.
Mhm.
Robin, here it is. Okay, so it's gravesite lot 112, graves 3 and 4, and her name is Robin Burke, and she's basically wanting it's 2 and 3, sorry. Gravesite husband, former husband is in gravesite 3. And so she's wanting to sell it back. And I don't know, like on those things, like if the headstone was put in the middle.
It's not.
It's
No.
not, okay. Okay.
I know exactly
You know exactly what
I know
I'm
exactly.
saying?
It's actually it was a classmate of mine.
Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Well, I told her I would bring it up tonight. I was supposed to bring it up at the last meeting and I forgot. And she is the lady that watched the meeting and she emailed me like, you didn't bring it up. Like, sorry. So, but then Sean had talked to her. So if you guys are okay with that, then
Well,
someone could move.
Yeah, I'll
to-
entertain the motion to repurchase the lot back.
I move that we repurchase a lot number 2.
Seconded.
Second. Any discussion? Any other discussion, guys? I think this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Proceed to vote then, guys. All those in favor of us repurchasing the plots back from Miss Robin, can I just call her Miss Robin? Signify by saying aye. Any opposed? But there's not.
What's her name now? What'd you?
Robin Burke.
It used to be Robin Gonzalez. Gonzalez. It's kind of right where we've been buried, right? But Manuel Gonzalez was a classmate. And it's just a small stone on a small foundation. So it's centered over his plot only. Yeah, if it was over both of them, we couldn't buy it back.
Yeah.
And that's something that, we got to tell people. It's,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. Oh, anybody else got any new business here? I'll get something for you, Matt, in a minute. But is there any other new business to come up in front of the board tonight? Roger, you have anything for us? Come on. Okay. And Matt, we got, I think there was something that you wanted to do about
Yes.
a meeting in May. Go
I
ahead,
wanted to
Matt.
see if I could make a motion to move the meeting in May from the first Monday, 6th, to, see if I have that, the 13th. It'd be the second Monday in May. So basically have one meeting that month. I just wanted to see if that's something. It's just due to some vacation issues around the group.
I second that motion.
So what day will it be, May 13th?
Yeah, that's what I'm proposing.
So, again, it's been moved to move our meeting from the 6th into the 13th, and to be our only meeting that month.
Because it'd be it'd be
Yeah.
back to back if we did.
Yeah.
And I think it,
Because we'll have 2 board members absent for that, so I'm calling you a board member, by the way. So the move the May 6th meeting to the 13th, that will also take in consideration for the 20th. So we'll have one meeting in May on the 13th at 5 p.m. Is there any other discussion about this? Been moved and second by Roger. We'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, moving the meeting to the 13th, say aye.
Aye.
All approved.
May 13th.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be heavy slightly in May or June if we have more.
Yeah, and everything will be back to normal in that, so. See, go ahead. Do you have any other new business, Matt?
No, I've been busy enough again.
Sandy, do you have any other new business name?
No.
Okay. And you got the thing from Deanie about the gravel and stockpiling the gravel? Or-
Yes, I forwarded that. Now, there was the thing with Vicky Deer. Did you see that?
I did see that.
She was asking about the Dugan Road.
And that was one of the other things I wanted to ask Jane about, and that got away from me.
About the speed limit.
Yeah.
But, and I can respond to her, because you are right, there was a,
Safety
when I
study.
asked you about that, you said there was a safety study by the city
This is one.
on
Not
that.
by us.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Right. And I thought that they came out here though, and they wanted, like, wasn't the township one part of that road and their one part of it, and they wanted it to all be the same speed limit?
Yeah, they kind of told us what we were going to do, so it was,
Yeah,
and we had to buy the signage to do that.
that's
So,
right, I do remember that.
so
I'll respond to her email then, Matt.
she might also want to reach out to Steve McCall about that also.
Yeah.
So I'd absolutely,
Doug Crable and Stiddy.
yeah.
It's a
Steve,
reduction in speed.
Steve will go to bat for faster. I mean, he's got a lot of pull as far as how the width of the road and, the condition of the road for.
It is a thin road.
It's a narrow road and the berms are, I mean, people run off of that and it's got a lot of power. So she might have a little bit more, we just don't have a lot of power with that.
So it's a request to reduce the speed.
She would like to, she'd like to reduce down to 50, I think instead of 50, I think it's 55 right now, isn't it?
No, we've already put up.
Is it 50?
45 signs, I believe. Didn't we do that already?
So she said, this is what she said, Roger.
Okay.
Residents and property owners on North Dugan wonder if there are steps to take to petition the speed limits on North Dugan that were recently posted. I grew up on that road and there is no way 55, 50 should be the speed limit. It's too narrow and too residential. Not many country roads can truly support that speed. When you post 55, 50, the average speed is 60. It's no different than open highways. Vicky Urbana.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't either. I think that was well said.
It just,
Again, that was something that we never even was asked about.
what was it before, or did just signs just go up?
I think it was signs
As
just
it
going up.
So it's always been 55, but they just didn't have signs.
And I think that she's going to find out when if she talks to Steve that there's also going to be an issue once they start the new development behind her, the new housing, that whole road complexity is going to change. So I mean, they're going to have to slow down just because there's going to be equipment coming in and out. So, but we'll support that. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
I'm
No.
sorry that I spoke for you guys. I mean, would that be something that we would support?
Yeah, I definitely love to see that thing go wide.
Yeah. But would you also support maybe a little slower speed limit if she could find it?
Absolutely.
Tell her that we would be in support of that. If
Okay.
I don't think we have to make a motion about that, but not yet.
Yeah, she said that in using.
I was surprised. No, if you go on the website, if you click on there to contact, it comes to me.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
She'll get that.
So she just got on our website and clicked on the contact
Okay.
and it came.
I got you. Now she has other options.
Oh, she does.
Well, with the event.
Well, no, if you change that little click contact to yourself, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay.
When
I
you
think
pull
so.
it up,
Yeah.
there's a little thing. Okay.
Anybody else have any new business? Time for comments. Dan, do you have anything tonight, sir?
I have a couple of things.
Please. The floor is yours.
And one, I mean, you partially addressed it or answered my question with the rental hall agreement about the no smoking policy. And I know when we brought it up about 2 meetings ago, you said, yes, you already have a no smoking policy as far as the building, the garage, and vehicles. And I just wanted to emphasize, I've been seeing a good bit of smoking in the vehicles.
Well, again, I don't know if we have, Dan, if I said something again, I misspoke again, and I apologize. My only knowledge is that we have just no non-smoking in here. I don't know if they have a policy for, Dan, that's going to have to be something I truly have to get back to you about. And we'll address that next meeting. I promise about that. But I think we do have a no smoking policy for this room, the public room. That's not a public area out there. So,
With all the flammables, you don't
Yeah.
think it should be?
well, again, I will get that question addressed.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, sir.
I don't mean it to come.
No, sir. No, sir. Go ahead.
The other question I had was regarding the trash pickup. It was a very tedious and nice job. Has the township ever received any income from the scrap metal sales?
Dana, we've never ever, we always put the stuff out. And then if we do find like a, fence post or something like that, and usually a scrapper comes by and gets it, to be honest with you. If not, we used to throw it just in the dumpster. So, but if we found a tire, we don't find that much, to be honest with
I
you.
understand. And,
I mean-
and I've talked to, I just wanted to see if the township has ever received proceeds.
No, and that was something I asked Richard about. Are you talking like aluminum? Is that what you're talking about?
Aluminum or steel.
You know, because I asked him about that. It's like, what? You know, I'm one of the main people who go out and pick that stuff up. There ain't no way I'm sorting that. It's bad enough to pick it up, but
Sure.
there's all kinds of unique liquids in bottles and stuff that, no, I'm not sorting that stuff out. So we do not, Dan, I can assure you, we do not sell. If we have big pieces of metal, it goes to a scrapper. Richard knows someone that just drives by and picks things up, but we have never made any money off of that.
No,
I shouldn't say that. While I've been here,
we never really have any much stuff.
Yeah. So you,
As far as those cans, most cans they're crappy. We're not gonna drain them and
Yeah.
try to. We're not gonna do that.
The only reason I bring it up is a scrapper I know that has been buying them from the township.
well,
And I wondered if the township actually received the money or if it stayed with Richard.
no. I mean, again, there's nothing. I mean, we put it in black. There's going to be a picture on the website. I mean, everything was on. I mean, it filled that whole trailer up.
Sure.
It's pretty impressive, and it goes into the trash bag, into the dumpster. Now, if there was something metal that wouldn't fit in the trash bag, then that goes to the corner of the shop or corner of the bin out here, and then someone's welcome to come pick it up. But I never thought about someone wanting to buy that stuff off of us. Hate to think that we're missing an income stream here, but I still think there'd have to be a process of dumping it all out and then sorting it. And I don't know why anybody wants to do
And what I'm
that.
getting at is what scrap was here that did get sold, if the township themselves received any of that income, or
Yeah.
only Richard
No.
Richard's never had anything to do with it.
did.
No.
He's
No.
the one that the person has been paying.
I didn't get that, Dan. I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
The scrapper has been paying Richard for the scrap.
He don't pay Richard for the scrap. He just comes and picks the stuff up.
He pays him for it.
That I was unaware of that. So, were you aware of that?
No.
I had no. Anything else, Dan?
Yeah, just a couple other things. It's
Okay.
not much. I was wondering, since you've all done such a wonderful job on the website, could we not put the cemetery map and lots and that information also on there?
Yeah,
And I think that'd save a lot of.
Questions?
that's all right. Yeah, that's in the works, Dan.
And then my last question is, what happens to the emails and text messages of former trustees or officers when they leave office?
They would be not kept. I haven't kept anybody's email. They would be considered no longer administrative value and can be deleted according to our RC2.
And I'm not trying to sound argumentative or disrespectful either.
That's
It would just seem like there's some emails that have been done that had to do with township business. I wouldn't think they should be discarded.
I don't
And again,
think we
I'm not-
keep things forever, though. I think if it's no longer an issue, then, and they consider it that it's no longer a value, then they don't have to keep it. The only thing that we have to keep forever is those minutes, according to our RC2. But it's just like, now I try to regularly empty out my deleted emails and empty out my emails. There's things that I keep, but they're password things, and I can't think of anything that I've got that I would need to keep for a long time. But I know what you're saying. I just don't have access to those. If there were any emails, I can't imagine what value they would have now. This is I don't know.
Yeah, that was only.
And that's really why we, I think, have gone to a more centralized email system. But even then, if they're done looking at the emails, I assume they're going to delete them and not keep them. I do have a file on mine in case something happened to me, that because I have so many passwords and stuff that are hooked to my email, that there is a file in there, like audit, where if I were gone, I mean, I would think that people would want to get in there and look, and I have the passwords in there. So that's all I can do.
That's all I have for tonight.
I appreciate it. I will get you something back on the no smoking one. And I will investigate the scrapping. I can't imagine what little metal we have. I mean, I just don't have much metal.
And we're not talking a large sum of money.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, Dan, I have no idea. So I still don't know. So
Well, I got a question. When you say large sum of money, how large is large?
he said not a large sum of
Oh,
money.
not a large.
He said not. So again,
I guess that's, up for interpretation too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I had no idea about. It's just a shame to throw something in a dumpster that someone could use. So anyway, anybody else got anything, guys? No. Well, then I will entertain a motion for bill payment and for Sandy to distribute or mail checks.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, Sandy to pay her due. So all those in favor?
Aye.
I also all approve. Guys, our next meeting is going to be April 15th at 5 p.m. And I'm going to say this one more time for the record, since we are getting everything taped now. And people can,
April 13th.
April 15th. April 15th will be our next meeting
Oh, sorry.
at 5 o'clock.
Sorry, yes, sir.
And again, just to get it out there ahead of time, is that we're going to have one meeting in May, which will be the 13th, and that'll be at 5 p.m. If no one has anything else, then we're adjourned, or I'll take a move to adjourn until April 15th.
Okay, I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All approved. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.